Welcome back to another episode of Peeking into Success. We're now on episode 11. Today we're joined by a singer-songwriter who is based in Derby, who has a gig in Derby at Dubrek this Friday, the 7th of July. And we are joined by Jemma Johnson. Hi Gemma, how are we today?
I'm alright, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So we're in Derby Theatre because we tried to meet up in person.
We did it.
We've had a bit of people coming in and out, but we're ready now, hopefully. Tell us about you in a nutshell. What is Jemma Johnson in a nutshell?
Wow. I am a singer-songwriter. I kind of describe my sound as pop rock, and I'm just getting out there, gigging, writing loads of music at the moment. Got some stuff coming up in the near future, some new music, and yeah, just really excited about kind of really feeling like I'm an artist now and like finding my feet in the industry. It's really cool.
Nice. So, for anyone that doesn't know your music, name one artist or band or anyone that you would liken yourself nearest to. So, if they like that artist, they'll be like, right, I'll try Jemma out as well.
Okay. So, I normally wouldn't let myself say this because I don't like... I love and I hate the comparison, but someone called me a badass Taylor Swift the other day, and I was like, yes, that's kind of sums it up, to be fair. Like, I was inspired by her back in the day, and
I'm not gonna lie, you kind of look like her as well.
I
you
know.
kind of do look like a rock version of Taylor Swift.
I saw that coming.
I was like, the pieces were clicking.
Every day people say it to me. I'm like, okay.
But that's a good selling point.
It's cool, isn't it?
The badass Taylor Swift.
Badass Taylor Swift. Yeah.
The songs she wouldn't write about.
Yeah.
There you go. So how did you start your musical journey?
I was born and then I just was writing songs at the age of 2. No, I had always as a kid was really into dancing, acting, singing, massive fan of Disney, and I just thought I was a princess from like the get-go. And then when I realised I wasn't a princess and there was no castle and whatever for me, I picked up a guitar and started to learn how to play, kind of mainly taught myself, and that ended up like rolling into every night. I'd go up to my room and write songs, and things at home were a bit meh. So
yeah.
That was kind of my way of processing, and like I just put all that energy, whether it was like negative, positive, whatever, put that into my songs, and that was basically my life for a few years, of like every night 2 or 3 hours writing, learning covers, and like working out how to write songs through, you know, kind of singing other people's songs and working out what they do and stuff. And then naturally just went into like doing music at uni and like studying songwriting, and then here we are.
YouTube was a big platform for you early days, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
That's why I thought I mentioned
it. So I started that up. It was a really exciting time when I started to do YouTube, because artists were really like making a name for themselves on there. So in my head I was like, right, what's everyone else doing? They're doing covers. Cool. I sing a lot of covers because of like how I kind of got into it. And the thing for me with when I did my YouTube channel was I didn't just want to put a cover out and it just be like, oh cool, sung it, put it out. I wanted to like put my own mark on it, almost like hey, I don't just sing songs, like I can like put my own twist on them. And that's kind of I think when I'd done that for quite a few years, and I did put my original stuff on there, but it got to a point where I was like, no, the whole point of this is that I want to put my mark on stuff. So that's when I was like, yeah, let's basically just do the original stuff. Like,
nice.
That's where my passion lies. But it was great. Like, I built up a really solid following on there. I think there's still like 64,000 people on there. They've not left, which is really nice. Yeah, so that was cool. It was really, really cool to see, like, you know, and you get your head wrapped up in numbers and stuff. And I think for me that was it in the end. I was like doing 2 videos a week, and it was knackering, like,
I bet.
such an English word. Yeah, it was really tiring, and I experienced the whole burnout scenario. I was like, I never want to look at YouTube again. But now, now I'm over that. I look back at it and I'm like, wow, like, that's cool that I did that, and built up a following that still kind of is there today.
Exactly. I mean, one of the standout points that kind of may come up in defining moment, I don't know what you've chosen, but of course Coldplay and Hymn for the Weekend. So kind of how did that propel you up, or kind of what did that song do for you? When you think of that song now, do you kind of look back at it with like fond memories, or do you think, I hate playing that song now?
I love playing that song.
Okay.
No, I do. I don't. It's very rare I do nowadays. I don't tend to put covers into my kind of original gigs. I want to. I want to find one that's just like a little bit quirky that no one would think that I would do. Like, that's kind of in my head.
Nice.
For one day. But that song's really funny because I never agreed for the remix to happen. Like, this guy just went and did it, and then I was like, what's going on? And it was like racking up all these numbers, and I was like, hang on, what's happening? And we had a little bit of a falling out. And then now, like, me and the label, like, great, we started working together, and we basically agreed, yes, we'll put it out on Spotify. That's when, like, because it had already gone crazy on YouTube, and they were like, look, we really want to get it out on Spotify. And I was like, no, you stole it from me. And I was all like, whatever. But no, I did it, and then, yeah, it wrapped those numbers up, which then massively propelled things. So when I started to release my own music, people would come into my Spotify, and then, like, they would come in for the cover, but they were checking out the original stuff. Yes. So then those numbers started to rise. And so I always think very fondly of all the covers, because they got kind of awareness of who I am out there. And now, hopefully, like, my kind of worst fear was being known as a covers artist. Like, I just don't. No. It's never been the goal. But yeah, no, I think you've got to find a way to get yourself onto a kind of, at a certain level, and that helped me, so just grateful for it, really.
And I mean, on Spotify, you're on, to Spotify's numbers, over 200,000 monthly listeners, apparently. So
apparently.
We don't know how clear that is. It could have gone up.
It's changed. It has, to be fair, it has changed. I've taken, the covers haven't gone down, they've just disappeared a little bit. So when you go to my Spotify, you see my original music.
I have seen that.
The numbers have been affected, which hurts from a point of view of, you know, when you're doing YouTube, you're looking at the numbers. You want to build those numbers up. There's a little game in your head. You know, there's dopamine going on there, and yeah. So, but it's cool. Spotify stuff's cool because when you go on there now, my songs are at the top, and actually, the one's blowing up at the moment.
I have noticed.
Have you seen?
I have noticed you've got one with 130,000.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah, it's probably past that, but yeah, it's around that kind of level. So that started happening. I still haven't worked out why. It just started happening a couple of weeks ago, so it's pretty in the dark. I released that. I think during COVID time.
Well, your songs come on daily mixes. Did you know that? So, like, do you know, like, for suggested artists? Yeah. So anyone that's searching anyone in Derby.
Yeah.
So the only reason this has happened is because my daily mix.
Really?
Yeah.
I came up on your daily mix.
So Sing It With Me came on my daily mix.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's
so
amazing.
that's probably how the traction's coming in. That's kind of Spotify's finding that if people are listening to other people local, you're getting pushed in there, and cool. People are finding you. That's how I found you anyway. So
I'm there for it. I love that. That's so cool. The algorithm, I hate it sometimes, but in this scenario, it has done me well. That's great.
So, of course, you've released singles. Is there a chance of an album or an EP? Is that kind of is that the goal that's coming up? Kind of, you lead the way with what's coming up music-wise for you?
Yeah, so, I mean, the kind of, the last few months, I'd say the last 12 months have been, like, experimenting, trying to find a sound that feels like true to me as an artist, like really kind of, and then I go on gut feelings, and so I've been like playing around with these different sounds. So like my last few singles have been a little bit different to each other. Like I wouldn't ever release them as an EP. I don't feel like they sit together like that. But I love each of them for like different reasons, and now, it's a kind of process of building something bigger than just a single, and having, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 songs that sit as an EP, and that, you know, as a whole body of work. Like that's kind of where I'm going at the moment. But I'm also really, really wanting to put an album out. In the near future.
So people will have to look out for that.
Absolutely. Basically, the last couple of months, there's over 100 kind of songs, ideas, kind of things like waiting to be embellished into a bigger thing. So yeah,
nice.
It's cool. It's exciting.
So of course, looking through your whole career, you've mentioned a lot of moments that could be considered a high for other people, but to you, what is your career high or your biggest achievement that you created in the music industry?
So I have always, in fact, weirdly, never in my head, I think I had this belief of like I just couldn't see myself on the radio.
Okay.
And when I released Love Rush, which was before Sing It With Me, I just got it in my head. I was like, it's getting Radio 1 play. And I started telling everyone, I was like, it's going to get Radio 1 play. It will. Let's just manifest. And I did like, I genuinely looked up manifestation techniques, because I was like, how can I make this happen? Like, something's, universe, hear me. And I did. I'm not saying that's the reason. I don't know the reason it ended up getting played on Radio 1. Probably because it's a good song. We'll go with that.
It is a good song.
But yeah, that hearing a song that I wrote and sang on Radio 1 was an insane moment for me.
Can you remember who played it and where you were when it happened, the moment when it came on Radio 1? Where were you? Can you remember everything around it?
I wish it was one of the moments where you're like, I was driving in the car and like it just came on. So Nels Hilton played it, and it was 2 a.m. And I planned on staying up because I knew what time they were going to play. I planned on staying up, but I didn't make it. So the next day, literally like 8 a.m, and I stayed over at my friend's house, and I was like, Lucy, we're sitting down, we're listening to it, and I filmed like I was watching it.
Oh, nice.
Or listening to it, and it, just lost my shit basically. I don't know if I can swear, but I just
no, you can. Don't worry.
Yeah, it was crazy times.
Nice.
But the next time, I will be driving in the car, and it will just, I won't even know. It will just come on, and be like,
that's it. That's what you want to do. You want it
to
be natural, but it's nice that you were honest about trying to stay up for it. So.
I know.
But that shows that you want to see it, and it's a big moment for you, and that's why you chose it as your like career high. Yeah, well, it genuinely something that like I've always wanted it, but like, you know, you have these kind of like set beliefs in your head of what will happen and what won't. It was one of those where I was like,
It might not ever happen, so just be okay with that. So when it did happen, I was like, ha! Screw you, inner thoughts.
And then you can prove everyone else wrong, can't you, as well?
Exactly.
This is it. Of course, moving on, do you see your career defining moment as the radio thing, or do you have something completely differently to go off?
I probably last week would have said probably the Radio 1 one. But I did a gig in Manchester last week with my band, and I just had like, it's not really a light bulb moment. It just was like things just went like clicked into place, and I felt like I was really doing it, and I was an artist, and I got my band, and the vibe was great. The audience were loving it, and we just like, it just felt like really electric that night.
Yeah.
That was a real, like, not turning point. Just defining like, this is what I want to do. And I had this thought in my head on stage. I was like, never ever, because sometimes, you know, you have these things where like, oh, I'll just go and like, I don't know, I'll just go into marketing. I'll be okay 9 to 5. I'll be all right. I'll live a happy life. So in those moments now, I've got that moment on stage saying to myself, this is all you want. Like, I just knew it. I was like, nothing else. I don't want anything. This is it. And that's what I'm going to chase. So I'd say that gig, it was ace. It was at the Blues Kitchen.
Nice. But I mean, everything that you're saying is kind of you having to literally do something or see something to believe in yourself. Yeah. Kind of, it's like you don't believe in it, but of course, like, even before that, the numbers, like getting booked for things that were going to go on later gigs and festivals and everything like that, there's a lot coming up. So
it's weird because I kind of am I'm quite glad that I don't think of, it's like, oh yeah, all this stuff's happening, oh great, well I'm you know, I don't want it to get to my head. I don't think it ever will. I am like I've always been kind of like insecure in a lot of ways in my life, and I've like hearing other artists like Ed Sheeran played Wembley, and he was like, what next? Like, you never kind of stop, and I get that. Like with the Radio 1 thing, I was like, I think if I get Radio 1, I think I'm going to be happy, you know, like with whatever happens after that, I think I'll be alright. No, you get the Radio 1, you're like, more. But yeah, I wish I was more confident with it. I think it's coming. Like, I am. There's a weird like inner confidence, and it comes out when I'm on stage. It's like,
that's it.
Here we go. Yeah.
But I think even talking to you, I don't think there's ever been a time where it's not felt like you felt uncomfortable or kind of anything like that. I think you bring yourself off quite well.
Yeah.
Which is nice, and of course you're more likely going to get honest answers, honest responses, which is nice. So I think you bring yourself across really well.
Thank you.
So, and I mean, you were easily approachable to where we were yesterday. So
yeah, that was cool.
There you go. Yeah. So I think you're approachable, and it's just you believing in yourself, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So, but we kind of skirted around the subject of gigs, festivals. Do you want to say what you've previously done? So, like, have you done any festivals before? Kind of things like that, and then what you're now looking forward to doing this week, and I guess this month as well, as we're in July now.
It is all it's so exciting. So, I've played festivals before. So I did Why Not last year at the Hog and Barrel stage. I have played Bailey Theory a few times. I had one of my favourite at the gigs at Bailey Theory, and it's called the Woodland stage, and it is literally, as the name says, in the woods. It was incredible. I had like so many people were there, and the guy painted. I wish I could meet this guy again. He was just sat there painting the trees as I was playing, and at the end he gave it to me.
Oh really?
I was like, that is amazing. Yeah, and I've got it like in my little memory box. That was awesome. Anyway, what else? Yeah, so I've done quite a few festivals over the last few years, and this year there has been a turning point.
Nice.
And BBC Introducing have asked me to play the Quarry stage at Why Not, which is the second biggest stage of the festival. And going back to a little manifestation, last year I went to go see, I can't remember what band it was. I went to go see Orla Gartland, and she and her band were playing on at the Quarry stage, and I said to my friends, I was like, I'm playing that stage next year. Don't know how, but I'm going to play that stage. So then Dean Jackson asked me if I wanted to play that stage this year. So I was like, hell yes. So we're doing that on the 30th of July, so it's on the Sunday at 2:30 at the Quarry stage. But before, I'm going really ahead of myself because this Friday I'm playing at Dubrek with my band. So this is kind of like a warm-up show for Why Not. And we've got the Collide and Charlotte Betson supporting as well. So it's going to be a really, really fun gig. Like, we're all absolutely buzzing, especially like hometown show. Like, it's going to be really good.
Exactly. And you've performed at Dubrek before. Kind of, is there anywhere else you performed in Derby, or is that kind of your go-to place to perform if you're like, yeah, I'm performing at Derby, Dubrek?
Yeah, where I think I played a couple of places. The Vic, that was a cool gig. And I know there's somewhere else, but my brain's going, you're not going to remember.
No, that's fine. I was just going to say about Why Not, kind of for you to manifest again. This is kind of my manifestation to you. The first time I went to Why Not was 2013, right?
Yeah, okay.
And the one band I remember from the Quarry stage was 1975.
Really?
And they only had Chocolate out at the time. Yeah. So that's now your manifestation.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure it was either Saturday or Sunday, and it was like mid-afternoon, because that was the first band I saw of that day. So manifestation. There you go. Now you can be like, right, I want to be like, get their level of success and push on. I'm not going to lie, people only knew that song and literally it was rammed wall to wall. So people, 130 something thousand have listened to one of your songs. So if they all pack themselves in that tent.
Yeah, can they all just come and see me on that day? That'd be great.
There you go.
That would be great.
And I don't know who will be on at the same time, but then go and see you instead. Yeah, local, support Derby.
There'll be some really big band on the main stage. I'll be like, no, everyone from the main stage, come in here.
Into it, get some little cards out, start handing them out an hour before, trying to get people in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any other gigs, festivals, dates people should be aware of for the rest of this year?
So, I think majoritively, majority is not the right word. I mean, it is the right word.
Yeah.
So it's kind of all in July now. So I've got Dubrek on Friday, and then I'm playing Tramlines.
Nice. In Sheffield.
In Sheffield. So the actual festival picked me to play. So I applied for a competition, and I just initially just thought it was like, oh, I've won a competition. It was like, no, the festival picked me. I was like, that's cool. That's so cool. So I'm playing the library stage. That's at 12:30 on the Sunday, 23rd.
Another
really
Derby representative. There's quite a few Derby bands creeping into there as well, which is nice. They're saying Sheffield and the North, especially 90s, early 2000s, were known for their music, and kind of we're invading their space now, which is good. As it just shows that the Derby scene's growing and it's getting out further than just Derby.
The talent around Derby is actually insane. It blows my mind. The amount, and I still see it now, like new people coming in, and it's actually mental. Like how many people, they're really good.
They are.
It's really good and different as well. Like there's not like two or three people doing exactly the same thing. Everyone's got their own thing, and it's just great.
It is good. And I mean, with the support artists for the Derby gig, did you choose them, or did kind of your manager be like, yeah, these?
No, we kind of picked them together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No, I just wondered because, of course, I've seen Charlotte play a couple of times.
Yeah.
She played on Sunday. at a place where I was at, so kind of
She's awesome.
I kind of see her around.
So I've not met the collage yet.
Okay.
So I'll meet them for the first time on Friday.
Nice.
I'm really excited. They seem like a great bunch of people. But Charlotte, I used to put an open mic on in Burton, back when I lived in Burton, and she'd come and play at that. So I'm like, it's just really nice that like we've gone from that to now we're doing a gig together. Like,
yeah, that's nice.
Awesome. Yeah, so
Sweet.
I'm excited for that.
Was there any more dates? Sorry, that you were going
we've
to
got
say?
Tramlines, Why Not, and then Dubrek, and not in that order. It's Dubrek, Tramlines, Why Not.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna knuckle down and get some songs recorded and get them out.
There you go, quick time. So people need to
Yeah.
keep their ears to the ground for that.
Absolutely.
We're kind of now going into I call it the more thoughtful piece of the podcast. So kind of you thinking back and maybe analysing yourself. So I'll ask you 2 questions in one and you answer them how you want to answer them. So of course the first one's one piece of advice that you'd give to your younger self. And this could be the same or different as well. Would you do anything differently if you were to do it all again?
Okay. Piece of advice I give to my youngest. I'd honestly give so much advice.
You can
write an essay. What's the one thing? I think it would be to listen to my gut more.
Okay.
And not the inner critical thoughts that aren't real. Like, you know, you have those thoughts of, and it's coming back to that self-belief thing of my brain throws shit at me all the time, and I've gone through periods of my life of like listening to it and believing it and then going, no, you're not real. Like, just because you said it in your head doesn't mean it's a fact or it's true or anything like that. So I think it'd be that. I think it's like listen to your gut more and just really go for whatever you want to do and not think about what other people are going to think or what necessarily those thoughts say, and just go and fucking do it because it's gonna work out.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I mean, it has worked out for you. So
yeah, and I wouldn't change anything. I think, like, you know, I don't believe in regrets because they lead you to where you are now, and I feel like as a person, I feel great. Like I've learned so much through my journey.
Yeah.
And I get it now. I get when people are like, oh, but if you to go back, like, you know, it'd be different, but you wouldn't have learned all those lessons that you learned. So, yeah. What was the second part?
The second part was, would you do anything differently? And you basically answered that.
Mm-hmm.
So no, that's completely fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's a couple of years that I feel I didn't waste them, but like I wish I'd not like let go of what I wanted to do. Like I didn't write for 2 years basically at one time in my life, and it was because I knew. So I was in like a long relationship, and I knew that if I were to write about it, then like it would mean like it was true. I wasn't happy, and they'd have known anyway if I started writing these songs about how sad I was. So yeah, but again, another lesson.
Very true.
Like if I'm holding back from writing about something, it's because something's going on I need to address. So.
And I mean, the thing with if you change something to do it differently, would you have the songs you have now? Because you're very much. I feel like you're telling your story through your lyrics. So, what would you talk about?
Yeah, exactly.
This is it. So, maybe it's good that things went the way they did.
Everything happens for a reason.
Exactly, with your manifestations in hand.
Yeah, I wish I'd learned that earlier. Like, that would be great.
There you go.
But hey, we're here now, and that is it. And I'm very happy with how things are going. So
there you go. Can't complain.
Yeah.
We're going to do some quick fire questions to see your thought. You don't know any of these.
No, I don't.
So
oh my God.
just first thing that comes to your head. If you think that's the wrong answer, you can change it. Right, it's cool.
Okay, no pressure.
So first one, of course, you've spoken about covers. So what's your go-to karaoke song? So they push you on stage to say, Jemma, go on, sing a song. You've got the mic. You're in the pub. What are you singing?
Empire State of Mind.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Jay-Z and Alicia?
I don't do the Jay-Z bit.
So,
I think I need to learn it.
So do you need part 2? Part 2 is just more Alicia, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Way more part 2 than the Jay-Z bit.
Do you get someone to come up and be Jay-Z? Do you have a go-to friend that you can push up and be Jay-Z?
My little hype person. I don't. I think I need to elect someone.
There you go. Nice. Festival or gig? So for you personally to go to, which one would you?
Festival.
Okay, perfect. If you could have, like, someone's cooking you a meal of your choice, what are you asking them to cook you?
Oh my god, any kind of Indian cuisine, anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gave them a broad scope, so that's good.
Well, I don't want to say curry. I'm not into like the kind of English curry.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
that,
like the standard, like you tikka masala. I do like tikka masala, to be fair, but like
you're just wanting to go to like India, Pakistan, and actually get.
I want to get the authentic stuff. Like I love it. I
Nice.
absolutely love it.
What's your favourite venue to perform at so far?
So far, I think the Blues Kitchen in Manchester.
Because it's a defining moment as well.
Yeah,
so,
I think that did that. Yeah,
and it was only last week.
It was only last week. It was great. It was lovely. A great vibe. Like there were this is it. It's not hard for me. There's nothing candles on the tables. I was like, yes, vibing. It was great. And I think as well, like, one thing that musicians you kind of find, like, when the sound's right, out front and in the back as well, like for us to hear, we can hear each of us like playing.
Oh, nice.
Like it's just solid. Like it makes such a difference to how like much we enjoy the set, because if you can't hear each other, you're just constantly like really, you're not in the zone, you're not in that flow of like just enjoying it, you're like concentrating like to make sure I'm not playing out of time or, like, but no, great venue.
Sweet.
Definitely go back there.
Now, going from your favourite venue to your dream venue.
Okay. I have this thing about playing the Roundhouse in London.
Okay.
And I couldn't even tell you why. It's just there in my head. Want to do it. Like, it's such a iconic venue that I think, yeah.
Have you been manifesting this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So next year, maybe.
Yeah, or this year.
There you go.
Where are we? July? December. Let's
You've
do
got
it.
time, yeah.
It's fine.
Nice Christmas gig. Chuck in a bit of Wham or Last Christmas,
don't
something
even
like that.
get me started. I love that song. Honestly, when people like play the Wham game.
Yeah.
Like when they're like whoever, I can't even remember what is that. It's not even called the Wham game. I've made it up. But you know what
It's
I mean.
like Last Christmas when you hear that.
Yeah, and you lose, don't you? When you hear it, I'm like, I'm going around the shop because I want to hear that song. I'm like, when am I going to hear it?
You're playing it in your car instead of radio. Want to listen to yourself.
Yeah. Just put Wham on. It's Wham time. Literally a whole month. It's brilliant.
So the Roundhouse in London.
Yes.
Not in Derby. Let's just clarify, not the Roundhouse, the college down the road.
No. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, I had.
That's why I wanted to make sure that we said London again.
It is the London one, yeah.
If you could, so of course you said that you created kind of your lineup for your gig this Friday. Mm-hmm. If you, so say we're at the Roundhouse in London, what's your dream setup? So you're the headliner. Mm-hmm. You can put 3 acts on. Who are you putting on with you?
Oh, this is great. This would never work.
It doesn't. I mean, you're
but
not playing together,
cool.
are you?
This is why it's cool.
Yes.
Damien Rice.
Right. Okay. Is he performing first? Are you going in order of the performing?
No, I'm not. I'm just throwing him out.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'd have Damien Rice headline it, but it's fine. Like
no, you're headlining.
I headline Damien. You stay in your lane. Oh, I love him so much. I'd get him to come up and do a song with me, or I'd do a song with him.
You've literally kind of nearly nicked my next question.
Have I?
No, but that's fine. No, that's fine. You can say him again, so it's
Damien
good.
Rice. Who else? I don't know. I'll keep wanting to say Taylor Swift. I'm going to say Jemma. Get over it. Get over it. One day. No, let's throw her in there.
Taylor.
I love that. Taylor, you can support. And this is hard.
I know. That's why I picked 3, because a lot of people say, oh, there's so many to choose from. So kind of, I say 3, so you've got
Bon Iver.
Bon Iver? Mm-hmm. I've never heard of Bon Iver.
Or some people say Bon Iver.
Okay, that sounds better. I think you can't. Yeah, it's 2 separate words. That's why you said Bon Iver. I was like, who's Bon Iver?
Who's that?
Yeah, Bon Iver makes more sense.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I was like, one word. I was like, what?
Really weird lineup, but
no, I like it.
I would have a great time.
And I mean, it would get a diverse amount of people in.
Wouldn't
you'd
it?
have a bigger crowd that way, because you're playing a bit for everyone.
Exactly. No one would see anything like it. It'd just be the best night ever. Yeah.
There we go, at the Roundhouse in London.
The Roundhouse in London. That's where we're going to
be. You kind of went onto it with Damien, but dream collaboration for a song. Because I know you've done quite a few features that are on your Spotify.
Yeah.
So
it would be him.
It would be him.
And I don't think now, like when I first started writing, I was very much like acoustic, kind of that. He was like one of my biggest influences. So it was very sad and lots of guitar and like it's just so sad. As in like emotionally sad, not sad, not like sad, like not cool. I was cool, but I think. But yeah, I went to go see one of his gigs recently, and he asked if anyone in the crowd could come and sing.
Okay.
And I was like, put my hand up, literally shaking, like, if this happens, this is my dream moment, and I can die tonight happy. Like, it was genuinely, I was like, I'd be happy. I would quit. No, I wouldn't quit, that's ridiculous. But, you know, I'm just like, I'm done. My moment, my biggest life moment is achieved, but you pick someone else.
Oh, next time.
Next time,
David.
Or how about you come to my gig and support me, and then we'll sing a song.
Exactly, at the Roundhouse in London, of course. It'll come out as a special guest for a song.
Thank you. You've planted the seed.
There we go.
Cool.
Final question.
Yeah.
What is your gem of Derby? So you can take a person they're coming on the train today, they get to Derby, they've never been to Derby before, they're expecting you to show them one place, and it can be personal for a particular reason, or it can be because it's a landmark of Derby. It's up to you what your gem of Derby is.
Oh my goodness. Where would we go?
We've had
I nearly said Mackey's.
I mean, they are worldwide, so if they're not from Derby.
No, my manager says all the time, you love a Mackey's. I'm like, I don't. The more he says it, the more than I actually do.
It's implanted in your head.
Let's get that out of my head. Can it be a little bit outside of Derby?
It can be Derbyshire.
Okay. There's a place called the Tara Buddhist Centre.
Okay.
And I went there recently with my friend, and she showed me this place, and it was beautiful. And I genuinely have never felt so calm and content just by sitting in a beautiful garden.
Nice.
I'd take them there.
Where is it for people from Derby?
So it's I don't know what road it's on.
Do you know the area?
Yeah, it's near Etwall.
Okay.
So it's on as you come in out of Derby, say you go towards you're heading towards like the A50, like Etwall, Hilton Way.
Nice.
And it's along one of the roads.
One of the roads in it. One of the roads in it, Etwall.
One of the roads. But Google Maps knows. So you literally type in Tara Buddhist Centre.
There you go.
And then then I don't know where I'd go. I'd probably go and take for some food.
At Mackey's.
Bistro Pierre. Okay, let's change it up. Love Mackey's. But Bistro Pierre in Derby is...
Nice vibes in there as well.
Beautiful food. Great
Upstairs and down. We've been both.
Upstairs. I have been, yeah.
I like both.
Times. My favourite thing about it as well, I could just go there and have a glass of wine and some bread. I'd be okay with that. You know the bread they give you?
Yeah, the stop with the butter.
Banging.
It is nice. I can't complain about it.
Well, I don't. I stay there for the food. But like, oh my god, I'm so happy when they bring the bread out. I'm like, it's
And it's free as well. It's like a free accompaniment to your meal, isn't it?
I don't think it's free anymore, actually.
Oh, isn't it?
No, but it's okay.
It's worth it.
There's a lot of years of generosity there, so I can.
You can put a couple of quid towards some bread.
It's worth a couple of quid.
Just to round up, where can people find you on their phones, on social media? Where can they find you?
So my social media handle is Jemma J Music, and it's Jemma with a J.
It is.
And then Spotify and all that sort of stuff, or Google, whatever, like Google. That is Jemma Johnson.
Nice.
It's Jemma with a J.
There we go. And hopefully people can come down and support you all throughout July. And your manifestations come true, so...
Let's do it, yeah.
Nice. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. It's been great. Really appreciate
thank you.
it. Yeah.
We've had a bit of a laugh, so it's
great.
nice.
It's been nice fun, yeah.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Peaking to Success podcast. If you enjoyed, please make sure you follow us on Spotify as well as Instagram, where you can see all the updates of who is coming up, as well as who has already been on the podcast, as well as Twitter, where there is information and interaction from me on there as well. Thank you.